Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here from Hampton, Iowa with another edition of Pat's on Periscope for Monday, August 10th, 2015, right here from Hampton, Iowa, not in Osage, Iowa, as it says along the top wherever. It says that because that's where the node is for Hampton, for MediaCom, which is a whole other issue I'll cover some other time. Anyway, but today we're going to talk tech, we're going to talk social, and we're going to talk hoaxes. And so let's just start things off with Pat's on Periscope for this Monday evening, 8 o'clock Central Time. Don't forget, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me everywhere. Facebook at Pat the Computer Guy. You can find me online at thecomputerguy.bz or my new blog at www.randomaccess.bz. So want to hang out with me? You can hang out with me at any of those locations. I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit. There we go. So anyway, we're going to be online at those various spots. On Wednesday morning, we take this Periscope and we put it over to YouTube. And so you can see it on YouTube as well as the randomaccess.bz portion of my blog. Today we're talking about tech. Chad and I were out today doing some TV repair work, had a couple of TVs to fix, and a couple things we noticed that these were power issues where you hit the remote control and nothing happened. In an upcoming episode of Random Access, I will talk about how to make sure you can check your remote, make sure it works. But anyway, that wasn't the issue today. It was a power issue. What I have a hunch is with storms and things like that, we have power brownouts, we have power that just goes right out, we have power spikes, and not to mention, if you have cable or the dish, one of the dish companies, your coax goes right into the back of the TV. And so if by chance that your satellite dish or your cable TV got hit by lightning, zap, that goes right into it, and that can also cause some problems with your TV as well. So when we were on site today, we found no power issues that had replaced power boards in a couple of TVs today. So what we found is, and what I recommend to people is, a lot of people have their TVs plugged into those flimsy little power strips that you use for Christmas lights. Now, the TV I bought a couple of years ago was $1,400, and I'd rather trust that to something more than a flimsy little Christmas tree light plug-in. I got myself, bought it online, or went to Staples and got it. It was a battery-powered backup. That keeps the power at a steady pace. You don't have the fluctuations, you don't have brownouts. If the power does go out for a little bit, it keeps the TV on. It may not, you may want to just turn the TV off, but it does keep the baseline TV on. That's kind of ready. When you hit the remote, it pops right up. It's kind of a ready on type thing. It makes the red power light when the TV is actually off, but it's still plugged in. There's still components in there that are on. So that may help, especially with the summer storms that we've had, and of course we'll have because it's Iowa and it's the summertime. Make sure you get yourself a decent power supply. Backup power supply would be the best. They're $60. Pretty good investment, really. The kind that has the cable TV coax plug-in will help you as well, and so that's something to think about as well, because if that lightning hits your dish or any part of that line, that's where the surge will come in at, and if you don't have your coax protected, then you're just going to be out of luck as well. So make sure you get a power supply that is battery backup power, and hopefully it will have a coax protection on it. Now, some people who don't, they just use Netflix, or they just use whatever they use, then you're not going to need to worry about the coax situation. Now, part of the problem I'm finding on the TVs now, the smart TVs have a wireless hookup, and so you can detect your wireless network with your television, and that streams Hulu or Netflix or any other thing you want to stream. Now, what I found is people may have their TV in the basements and their routers are on the third floor. Well, right behind the TV screen, that's like a huge magnetic field. and behind there, it's usually against a wall or in a box. If you have a TV type entertainment center, that's going to hold that TV. So your wireless card doesn't get, it's like going into a car wash with your radio on. It just doesn't work that well. So make sure that when you do get a smart TV, you reposition your router down closer to the TV so you do get a signal. What I usually end up doing is sit right in front of the TV, turn my MiFi on my phone, and then connect with that to make sure that the wireless card does work. In some cases, the wireless card doesn't work, and we replace it. But to start things off, test it with like a MiFi or your wireless access on your own cell phone, and then see how that works. If it works, then you know it's not the card. It's probably the distance between 2 points. And if you're cutting through several walls, I mean, down here in the basement, I've got my router in the other room, but we're still cutting through 3 walls. So just keep that in mind too. Every time you cut through a wall, it's just like using your radio in the car wash. It just isn't going to work as well. This week is Elvis Week. It was this week back in 1977 that Elvis passed away. And every year in Graceland and the Elvis folks take care of what they do with Elvis Week, and they have ceremonies, and they have programs, and they have very inspirational things all week, and it culminates on Saturday night with Elvis Week, and they have a virtual candle lighting. And before I was on with Perscope tonight, I did try and download the virtual candle, but you can only do that on your phone. They have a lot of apps for iTunes, phones for iPhones, and they do have a few things for the tablet, but most everything is on your phone because they want you to hold your phone up and wave this candle at the candlelight vigil. Of course, they don't want cigarette lighters anymore. Now, those are way too dangerous. So anyway, they have the virtual candle that you can put on your phone. So I did notice that the whole Elvis 2015 Elvis Week app this week was just for phones. So something to think about if you happen to head down there, or if you just want to follow along with what's going on with Elvis Week. That's kind of a neat way to do that too. So Elvis, of course, and Graceland are on Facebook. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram, and they're on just all sorts of social media. They've really done a good job of adapting to social media. I know that a lot of what they do on Elvis Radio and Elvis Channel 19 on Sirius and XM Radio, they do a lot with George Klein and some of those folks from Elvis Radio. They put those on YouTube, so you can go back and watch those programs. I just watched one that said that Graceland was not for sale, so like it was, but anyway, it wasn't. And anyway, that's what they're talking about there. So Elvis Week this week in Memphis. I've been to Graceland. Once. That was back in '93. And of course, they didn't like my style of humor. I'd mentioned that I didn't know. We were touring all the cars in Elvis's big garage or used car lot or whatever he had, and we come upon his mother's pink Cadillac, and I just didn't know that that Gladys had sold Mary Kay. But the joke didn't go over very well, and people frowned. Now they're giving people iPads to tour with and headphones, and you just kind of listen to that, and it interjects some Elvis music in there and all sorts of stuff. When I went through, it was just some gal reading that, and she hadn't even been born in 1977. So that's what Elvis Week is all about. Again, you can get a lot of that on your iPhone is what some of that was for. You can download a tour of the Jungle Room on your iPhone and various tours of various things on both your tablet or your iPhone. And of course, social media does have a lot of that. And plain and simple, Elvis.com has a lot of that. And you can order your favorite Elvis memorabilia from there as well too. Hey, we're talking about hoaxes this week, and I come across this old hoax that's been around forever. I want to make sure I could pull it up on my tablet here, and it's this one right here. I don't know how well we're going to be able to see it here. It's this one right here, and I think it might be reversed. It may not be reversed, who knows. But it's one of those videos where it says click here to see never shampoo. You will never shampoo like before after watching this video. And that's supposed to be some growth out of the back of some guy's head, but actually it's a real close-up of something that you found in nature. I don't know what it is. Could be a shower head for all I know. But anyway, they've superimposed that on there. And with people getting their Facebook pages hijacked and infections, and then all these random things getting sent out on behalf of various pages, it's stuff like that you don't want to click on. If somebody does click on it, I always just post underneath their posting as "Don't click on this," or you can go back. You can actually warn them about it, or you can hide the post. But hiding the post really doesn't do any good for that person or anybody who clicks on it. I would just warn them: do not click on that. Again, that is it's just a hoax thing, and you certainly don't want to click on that. Because it really won't do anything, except it may ask you for your username and password. If it asks you for your username and password again, then your account's going to be hijacked again, and you're going to have to, it may create a double account, it may create a spoof account, and then all your friends are saying, "Oh, there's two Pat Palmers out there. How can there be two Pat Palmers out there?" Well, that's kind of what happens when you get your account hijacked, or somebody creates a double account, and then all your friends get all that junk as well too. So you don't want that. Again, when we get to the random access portion of the show with my blog, I'll show exactly how to delete those unwanted programs from your Facebook account, and it's quite valuable. We went through that the other day at a class I taught at the Chamber in Hampton, and people didn't realize how much junk they had. Name your favorite 80s band, and what your prehistoric name would have been, and all this sort of garbage that gets loaded into Facebook. Now they do it a little bit different. They don't actually load the app into your phone. It's just more of a web-based thing, so it's a little different than that. Again, this evening on Pat's on Periscope, we talked about your TV, those new style of TVs, making sure you have a constant power supply to those, even a battery backup power supply. Don't trust those flimsy, what I call Christmas light extension cord power supplies. You want to make sure you have something decent. Also test your Wi-Fi connections. Make sure that the distance between your TV and your router isn't so far away that you're losing connections or constantly buffering. When all else fails, unplug your internet from the power for about a minute, plug it back in, see if that doesn't work a little bit better for you. Again, this is Elvis Week, and we're coming up on the 16th of August, with a day that Elvis passed away, 1977. And this week at Graceland, they always have Elvis Week, a big celebration, and people converge on Graceland. One thing I didn't realize is that that big wall outside of Graceland, where everybody writes on that wall, they power wash that every once in a while, and then you get to start over. I didn't really realize that. I thought, gee whiz, if I went in 1993, maybe I'd see people who'd actually written something in 1977, but what I found was nothing that was before 1991. So evidently they must power wash the wall once in a while when it gets too filled with graffiti, and they redo that. So anyway, again, be careful on what you click on for videos. We don't want to see anybody get their account hijacked. So that's what's going on this week on Pat's on Periscope. Hey, tell a friend that you can see this on randomaccess.bz later this week, and also visit me on www.thecomputerguy.bz. We do remote repair, we do in-home computer repair, and in-shop computer repair too. Always something new for you with the Computer Guy right here in Hampton, Iowa. Again, we're not in Osage like it says up there. Anyway, glad to be here tonight with Pat's on Periscope. We will see you next Monday night.